Racing to the 2020 Preakness Stakes, and it is the Preakness edition of the betting show. This is where we take a deep dive, do some ticket construction, and kind of take you through some of the betting analysis and how some of the different ways you can play these races. Sometimes people have horses and they're not sure if they should play them over, they should play them under. Let's start with the Laurel Futurity, race number 8 at Pimlico. This is the start of a pick 4, and whenever I play a pick 4, one of the things I'm always trying to do is trying to find a single. And for me, my best bet of the day is Bonnie South and the Black-Eyed Susan. I think she has the best form, current class level. I think she's going to like the distance. I really like that Alabama race, and I think she's one of the few horses that can run the proverbial all day long, and I think that's what's going to take to win a race like this. So I'm keying on Bonnie South in the 10th race. So the horses that I like in race number 8, which they'll be on the turf, is Pivotal Mission, Wooten Asset, and Catman. Catman is kind of the spice of that race. He's 8-1. Michael Maker trains, and I think if there is an upset, he could be the one to do it in that race. I think Pivotal Mission is going to be a very strong favorite in this spot. Now, race 9 is where it gets interesting. I've got that race highlighted because I think this is going to be the chance for the most chaos. This could be the chance for the highest price payoff. So if you really want to look for some horses, or if you're the type that likes to play 6 or 7 horses, or maybe even hit that all button on a race, this might be one that you want to do that. I personally never play the all button. I try to narrow it down and play a few more combinations a couple of times. So my top selection is Vanzy, and then the horses that I like to consider are Sensation, Don Juan Kitten, and Bye Bye Melvin. Now my second choice is probably Bye Bye Melvin. I think the class, and I like his running style with the race flow of this race. I usually like to look for that horse that can finish the fastest with the deepest close, but if you notice in this race, a lot of these horses do their best running on the front end. Jack the Empire made a nice run 2 races back at 5.5 furlongs at Monmouth, and then kind of evened out the last time at Chucktown on the dirt. He's going from dirt back to turf, and a couple of his better races have been on the turf, and he seems to mix up his running style when he closes on the turf. Monday Morning Quarterback is a horse that I'm going to be against in this race. He's 8-1. He had a long layoff after the Withers Stakes. Definitely something was wrong. He lost to Happy Saver the last time out, who's going to be running in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. But I think Happy Saver wasn't that impressive to me, and that was a small field. I think he kind of just picked up the pieces. Another horse you may want to take a look at is Andesite, trained by Brad Cox, as he seems to do well on these big days, and that horse, again, has a little bit of that turf breeding on both the sire side and the mare side. Race 10, Bonnie South, that is the Black-Eyed Susan. And then when you get to the big dance, Pimlico, you know, there's 2 ways you can play this race. You can play it as Authentic being the best horse. We'll take a look at some wagers with him. Or you can try to get another horse to win the race. And I think a lot of people are going to be gravitating towards Art Collector. And in the early wagering on Friday afternoon, it looks like Pneumatic has taken some play. And a lot of people are starting to hone in on 1,000 Words. And a lot of times, even though you can get a price in races like that, I want a horse that maybe has a little bit upside, or maybe it could take advantage. And I think Swiss Skydiver is the other logical winner besides Authentic. Probably not the second most likely winner, but in a pace scenario, that if Authentic kind of spits out the bid at the half-mile pole, or if there's a pace duel with Authentic and Art Collector, then I want a horse that can come from off the pace, and I think Swiss Skydiver could get the right kind of trip. So those are the 2 horses that I'm going to use in the pick 4, Authentic and Swiss Skydiver. If you absolutely want to have a longer price horse, I would go with Pneumatic. I do think this is going to be a career top race for Pneumatic. So that's a pick 4 starting with race 8. And in the Black-Eyed Susan, my best bet of the day is Bonnie South. I think Bonnie South has the best class, current form, and I love the workouts recently. I think she's sitting on a big effort here, and a big effort here could put her in the mix too for the distaff at Keeneland in the Breeders' Cup. I'm going to go straight exactas over Dream Marie, Mizzenbow, and Miss Marissa. Mizzenbow is the Woodbine shipper, and traditionally those Woodbine horses get overlooked on big days like today. on Preakness card. So I'm going to take a little extra action with that Ms. and Beau and Miss Marissa. And you can still hit a $40 exacta here if you do it right with Bonnie South. Again, the Preakness Stakes, I'm leaning towards Authentic as being, you know, I like his gallop on Friday. I like his demeanor all week. They shipped out late. He had a great workout a week ago. He's either going to get pressured into submission from Art Collector, or maybe he doesn't break well. I do think he's a type of horse that's not going to run second in this race. I think he's either going to run big and win it, or he's going to run third or worse. So I'm going to be playing Authentic. If you like him to win this race, you go straight exactas over Pneumatic, Max Player, and Swiss Skydiver. If you're leaning more towards the upset, I don't think it's going to run Authentic over Art Collector or Art Collector over Authentic. I think one of them is going to get involved in a pace pressure and kind of collapse down the lane. I'm going to go with Swiss Skydiver and exactas over Art Collector, Max Player, and 1,000 Words. If you even want to take a third one, you can maybe go Pneumatic over Authentic and Swiss Skydiver. But I just do not think it's going to be Art Collector over Authentic or Authentic over Art Collector. Meanwhile, at beautiful Belmont Park, wanted to talk about, this is a race, 4-horse field. It's a race flow type race. I think Code of Honor is going to take a lot of money because of his class level, but I think he's a false favorite in this spot. Complexity did all the dirty work the last time, went very fast in the 4-go. 2 races back, his mile race in 1:34 wins this. He likes Belmont Park. He's the lone speed in a 4-horse field. I think Complexity will win this race, so I think he's a key at Belmont Park and possibly in that cross-country pick 5 or pick 4s that you're doing at Belmont Park. So take a look at the Kelso Stakes at Belmont Park. Also the Keeneland Futurity tomorrow and some big races at Santa Anita. There's a lot of action, so don't tap out early. And it should be a good running of the Preakness. Again, Authentic. I think he's the type that's either going to win this race or run third or worse. I just don't see him being the type of horse that's going to run second in a race like this. I think the whole key is the pace. I think Art Collector is going to challenge him early, and I think it's going to get very interesting from there. I think Art Collector may be the one that backs out of it. Usually one of the 2 horses survives that speed duel. Good luck on your Preakness Day wagers. We've got a Preakness preview. We've got a preview of the pace analysis. Make sure to watch those. And remember, hit subscribe, share this video with all your horse racing friends, and we race you up next. We've got the Breeders' Cup 2020.